be doing character and string. We'll be doing strings. Alright, so what is actually string? I have told you before when we were doing characters, so string is actually the composition of characters. Okay, for example, my name. My name is a composition of F, E, and my N. So those are your characters, and when you put them together, it will become a string. Right? So basically today we will focus only on string. A little bit of character, obviously, because string comes from character, but we will focus on the printing of the string, the retrieval of the string from the user, as well as how you can actually manipulate your strings. Okay, so just a quick introduction. So for your characters, so two commonly used character set is ASCII and FCD, right? So but right now we will be using ASCII. So if you look at this table, I just want you to focus on the letters for a while. Can you see that? Okay. So whatever is on the keyboard is character. Okay, it's a character. So if you look at the capital letters and the lowercase letters. So I have told you many times that in character, the capital A and the lowercase a, they are not the same. Alright, so this is the reason. So if you look at the capital A, it is actually, see, look at the 65. And then the lowercase a is 90. Yeah, I think it's 97. Alright, so basically they have different values. So now that you are playing with string, character and string, you can actually see a lot of difference. So before this, you are still confused why when I do case A and case A, they look the same to me. But then, you know, madam keep on asking me to do two style for your switch, right? So these are the reason why they are both different. So in programming, everything is case sensitive. Case sensitive. Alright. So for char num equals to 1 and char num equals to 1 are not the same. Okay? So for character equals to 1, so it is being saved like this. Alright, but when you do char num equals to single quotation 1, which is how we always assign our character. So the value is 49 according to the schedule. Why do we need to know this? Alright, so right now for this level we don't really see why we need to do this, but there are a lot of manipulation that can be done. Now you look at this one. My underscore A equals to A, capital A. My underscore Z equals to Z, Z, right? So here, look at the placeholder. What is the placeholder for? What is the placeholder for, guys? Percent? Percent D. So what is percent D for? Integer. What is this? Character. Okay, so when they do percent D, which is what integer, but then they call my underscore capital A. Right? So this is not an error. So what can you see? The ASCII value. It's integer, so they will take out the ASCII value. Alright? But if you keep the integer and you call the percent C holder, what is the percent C holder for? Character, right? So you put 65 and then you will get. Okay? So there's no error here. So when you answer your question, especially for section A and section B, be careful. Okay, there's no error here. It will still be executed. You can test the code. It's just that whatever comes out is whatever needed. So this one and this one will produce you the same result. So this is capital A. Okay, character is larger than capital A, and character is lesser than capital Z. Right. So they are actually just trying to keep within this one, only within the letters only. Right. So you have the first letter, which is 65. Okay, so you don't have to actually know the exact value for Z. You can just plus 26. How many letters do we have, guys? 26, right? So basically this and this is the same. So basically what this code is trying to do is they are checking. So look at the red color. Is alpha, is lower, is upper, is digit, and is punctuation. Is punc, right? So what the code is actually doing is just checking if the character is actually an alphabet here. And then when it is an alphabet, you will go in, right? If the condition is true, you go in. They are just checking if the character is a lowercase or if the character is uppercase. So if the character is not alphabet, they will jump to the next if. Alright? So if is it digit, then the character is digit. If it's a punctuator, it will print punctuator. And then this is just another loop here. So if you want to store a string, so your data type is character, but now you need to store many characters that hold as one string. Right? So the declaration is the same. Can I do this?
Yes.
Yes. I make name as array, right? So this is the declaration, but you can do your initialization right away. So I can do Fenin. I want to show you how it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Right now, array looks something like this, right? Yes? I will have 0 to 9. Now, my name is F, E, N hyphen, N, I-N, right? So, what will happen to the rest of the boxes? The space. What will happen to the rest of the space? See, right? It will become? This is a 0, so I'm just going to... Right? Now, in a string, it is composed by many characters. Alright? And I have told you that whatever is on the keyboard is your character. Now, is space a character? Yes, right. So what if my name is because my name has a space inside, and I want the compiler to know that I am not done. Because once they read F-E-N-I-N, but my name is not done, there's a space here, so how do I let the compiler know that I am done now? Here. So the beautiful thing about this thing is that you need one extra space for your null character. This null character is to indicate that the string is done. So if I have something like char color 3 and I try to do red, can I or can I not do this? Do I have enough? Okay kan? But I need my null character, right? So we don't have enough. So you need to give extra 1. So here has to be 4. So this is 0 to 3. Okay? So you just need to remember, whenever you work with array, whenever you work with string, you have to store it in the data type of character, and you have to give an extra space for the null character to indicate the end of your string. Because space is also a character. So always give one extra for your string, eh? Alright. Now, what do you do to get input from the user? Scan F, alright. So I will touch scan F and print F first, and then we've done get char and put char, so I will touch on gets and puts. Okay? So it's exactly the same as your integer and your character. Betul tak? So scan F, okay guys, scan F, print F. So you have integer, float, double, and character, right? And then string, you will have gets and puts. It's actually easier than get char and put char. Alright, so we are done with scanf. So it's the same thing, guys. So just do your printf. Same old with all the rest of the things that you have done. Alright, so you have your integer, which is %d. You have your float, which is %f double %. LF, and then character you have your %c, now string you have your %s. Simple? Yes or no?
Yes.
And remember your %f, you have many variations of your %f, right? %.2f, %.3f, and so on and so on. Okay, so whatever is your placeholder, it will determine the type of the output. Okay, now this is scanf and printf, so we will do the gets and the puts. So instead of using your scanf and instead of using your printf, so due to the rubbish data that we can find in the buffer, you can always put your flash flash stdin somewhere here and probably somewhere here. Okay, so that we will do it in the lab lah. So right now for your exam paper and for today's lecture, you don't have to put it, but in the lab if you want a clean output, please use flash stdin when you try to scan and then when you try to print. Okay, so just put before and after, that will be no problem. For scanf, for %s scanf, they cannot detect space. So when you want to scanf %s, it will work wonderfully if you do not have any space in your sentences. But once you have space, for scanf %s, they will take only the first word, and then they will not take the rest. So because of that, we use gets. So even if my name has 15 characters with one space, they can actually capture my name using gets. Alright, so scanf for %s, it doesn't work really well. You can try in the lab later on Wednesday and Thursday and see how it differs. And when we were working on the code, we were trying to actually try both in one code. I tried using Microsoft Visual Studio and I tried using online GDB. Both cannot work if I have scanf and then I have gets. So I tried to match two sets of questions. One I was using scanf and another one I was using gets. I tried using Microsoft Visual Studio, cannot, and then I tried with the online GDB, also it doesn't work. Alright, but gets alone, it will definitely work. Alright? Okay, so whenever you have space, make sure you use gets and puts lah. Yeah, and one more thing. So do whatever printf does, so you can just, okay, so not necessarily that you have to actually just put the variable name. You can also put a sentence inside, no problem. Yeah, so gets is like your scanf, and then put is like your same as your get character and put character. So get character is like your scanf, and then put character is like your printf. Okay, alright. So character sentence, I love Malaysia. Alright guys, declaring, I've told you guys last week, declaring without the size of the array is highly not recommended. Alright, but for example purpose, we always do this. Alright, in the lab, try to give some size. Okay, so because Microsoft Visual Studio definitely will give you a warning, right? Because they cannot determine how big is your array. So when you do your declaration in the lab, you have to put a size. For your final exam paper, if we don't specify the size, you don't have to do it. But if we ask you guys to specify something which is enough space for your word, then you have to specify the size. Alright? Okay. Alright, so sentence, I love Malaysia. Integer I count equals to 0 now. Okay, so I have I over here. Right. So for I equals to 0, so I is equals to 0, sentence I. So what is I?
0.
So So sentence, I should draw for you guys, right? So remember your character, okay? Alright, so I love Malaysia. For I equals to 0, sentence I not equals to null. Now, where is sentence I right now? This is sentence. This is array sentence. So sentence I, what is I? 0. So sentence 0, where is sentence 0? Here. Okay? So for sentence 0 not equals to null, what do you do? What do you do? Count plus plus, right? So count plus plus. Now, I plus plus 1, right? So I plus plus. So sentence I is not equals to null. So sentence.
Wait, sentence.
What is I? What is I, guys? 1. So sentence 1 is not equals to null. True or false?
True.
True. So what do you do?
Count.
Count plus plus. So what is count? What is count now, guys? 2. Okay. So I can go on and on and on and on. Right? Do you understand why I'm doing this?
Yes.
What am I doing? Counting what? Why do I want to count the character? Yes. So I'm using a for loop to traverse from the first space until the null space, because I want to count how long is my. Yes. Okay. So this is one way. There's another way. Alright? The other way is using the built-in function. Now, using the built-in function, strlen, strlen. Now, look at the red color. Character name equals to Mona Lisa, whatever. You can have character sentence equals to I love Malaysia, no problem. Now, when you count, when you were doing count plus plus, what data type is this? What data type is this, guys? Data type integer. So you always count with integer. So what is this? Integer. So you can always use integer count if you want, if it's so much easier for you. Alright, so here x is your counter. Alright, so x equals to strlen name. So you can do count equals to strlen sentence. Done. So we are counting using integer. Always integer, right? So this built-in function will count your array. Alright, they will return back to you. When they return back, obviously they return back in integer type. This is your variable. So now this is, what is this? For integer, a placeholder for integer. So you just capture it here and your number of characters will be displayed. So there are two ways of counting your characters, alright? The first way is obviously using a for loop. For loop, while loop, dual, I don't care. But a loop, alright? Because you need to traverse from one place to another place by doing your counting. Count plus plus, count plus plus, count plus plus. By counting, then you will know at the end here how many is your characters. Or you can use a strlen function and you put it in any variable and then you just display the variable value. Okay, easy? So in the exam, there will be the kind of question that we will ask for this one is normally we will give you one style and then we ask you guys to transfer to another style. Vice versa. We can give you this and ask you to do a for loop, or we give you a while loop and ask you to do this. Alright? So Monday we will look at the past expressions and then we will teach you guys how to actually read the question and show you how you can actually answer the question. Okay? Alright. Now, standard operations on string. So there are three things that that you guys have to know. So copy, compare, and concatenation. Alright? Copy, compare, and concatenation. The copy is just like your copy paste. Copy, paste, everything. Alright? This one, later I will teach you why this is different than this. Right? So comparing the string, so you will have two strings that you will get to compare. Which string is actually bigger than which string, or is these two strings the same or not? Alright? And then for concatenation, concatenation is just actually appending. So this and this is different because this is copying the whole thing. Alright, for append, you append at the end of the array of the first sentence lah. Right? We work with sentence now lah, string So you have two strings, two strings, two strings. One is copy paste, one is you compare the two strings, and the other one is actually taking the second string and putting at the back of the first string. Okay, and why is this different? So later I will show you. Alright. Alright, now message has 25 characters. Message has 25 characters, and you assign the game is underway to the variable message, the array message, right? So when working with sentences like this, your size have to be big enough. Alright. So for copy, it will not be such a big issue, but when you do concatenation, because concatenation is combining. So you have to make sure that you have enough space for two sentences to actually be combined. Right? So 25 characters for message, we have the game is underway. Now, strcpy, so you guys have learned strlen, right? Whatever you do, always assign the right side to the left side. Remember when you do x equals to 1, the right side you assign to the left side, right? Now, right side to left side. Okay, so you have message. Message says the game is underway. So when you do string copy, first string S1, second string S2, S2 will be put inside S1. So because it's a copy, they copy the whole thing of the message and put inside copy here, copy. Okay? So if you print copy, obviously we're using a %s, so you will get the game is underway. This is super easy, guys. This is just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So for string, we have to have string.h. Doesn't matter. So you can do the stdio first, you can do string.h first, doesn't matter. As long as whatever library that you want to use is all up here.